Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive into a topic that affects just about all of us, procrastination. We're not just talking about putting off laundry or waiting until the last minute to do your taxes. We're going to explore the surprising and often hidden reasons why we do this, and more importantly, how we can finally stop. Today we're breaking down Damon Zahariades' powerful book, The Procrastination Cure. This isn't your typical self-help guide with generic advice. Zahariades takes a deep psychological look at the problem, arguing that procrastination isn't a flaw in your character. It's an ingrained part of human nature that you can absolutely overcome. We'll be uncovering the core ideas, the practical solutions, and even a few surprising truths about how procrastination can sometimes be a good thing. The psychological battle, your present self versus your future self. Let's start with the central conflict at the heart of procrastination. Zahariades argues that this isn't about laziness. It's a battle between your present self and your future self. Your present self is all about living in the moment. It craves immediate gratification and the easiest path. It's the part of you that wants to binge watch a new series on Netflix or scroll endlessly through TikTok even when you know there's a huge project due tomorrow. Your future self, on the other hand, is focused on your long-term goals. It knows you want to be healthy, successful, and financially stable. It's the part of you that wants to save for retirement, get that promotion, or finally start that side business. The problem is the rewards your future self seeks are, by definition, in the future. They don't offer that immediate hit of pleasure that the present self craves. This fundamental preference for present rewards over future ones is what makes putting things off so tempting, and why it's a deeply ingrained part of our nature. Another powerful concept the book introduces is the ripple effect of inaction. We often justify postponing a task because there are no immediate consequences. If you don't mow your lawn today, it won't be a disaster, right? But this inaction creates a chain reaction. The task lingers, demanding more and more of your attention over time. That unmowed lawn becomes an eyesore, the unfiled taxes lead to late fees, and the postponed conversation with your spouse breeds resentment. These small delays compound, leading to significant personal and professional costs, including heightened stress, guilt, and even missed opportunities. The triggers. Why your inner procrastinator rears its head. Understanding the underlying conflict is one thing, but pinpointing the specific triggers is how you start to fight back. Zahariades identifies over a dozen common reasons we procrastinate, moving far beyond the simple idea of laziness. Fear of failure and fear of success. These two seemingly opposite fears often lead to the same result. Fear of failure paralyzes us because we're afraid of doing something wrong or getting poor results. Think about a time you had to give a presentation and kept putting off preparing for it. Maybe you were worried about bombing in front of an audience. On the flip side, fear of success is about worrying you won't be able to live up to the expectations that come with a big win. What if you get a promotion and can't handle the new responsibilities? The fear of not measuring up can be just as debilitating as the fear of failing. Perfectionism. This is a trap many of us fall into where we hold ourselves to an impossibly high standard. As Zahariades, a self-described perfectionist, explains, this mindset can be completely paralyzing. If a task can't be flawless, we'd rather not do it at all. This leads to increased stress and frustration because we're constantly delaying action, making us miserable in the process. A feeling of overwhelm. When your to-do list feels like a literal mountain, it's easy to become paralyzed. The sheer number of tasks and responsibilities can trigger anxiety and make it impossible to know where to start. As a result, you do nothing, which only makes the mountain of work bigger. Negative self-talk. This is a form of self-sabotage where your inner critic belittles your abilities and tells you you're going to fail. This constant internal dialogue can erode your self-confidence and make you hesitant to even try. The book argues you need to challenge these negative thoughts directly, viewing failure not as a character flaw, but as useful data or simple feedback that can propel you forward. As Michael Jordan famously said, "I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Other triggers the book also covers, triggers like laziness, an unwillingness to perform a task, boredom, lacking interest in the task, and a low tolerance for adverse events, getting easily frustrated when things don't go as planned. Each of these triggers has a specific psychological root that needs to be addressed for true change to happen. The Cure: 21 actionable tactics to tame your inner procrastinator. This is the core of the book, where Zahariades gives us a toolbox of 21 proven tactics to fight back. The author emphasizes that these aren't isolated tips. They work best when you apply them consistently as a system. The first steps tactics. The most effective way to start is by starting. The book suggests two powerful tactics for this. Eat the frog first. This tactic, based on a quote from Mark Twain, is about tackling your most dreaded task first thing in the morning. Once that frog is out of the way, everything else on your list will feel easier by comparison, giving you a powerful sense of accomplishment. And do the first 10 minutes. A task often seems more intimidating than it actually is. This tactic advises you to simply commit to working on the task for just 10 minutes. The goal isn't to finish it, but to build momentum. The strange thing is, once you start, the anxiety and dread rapidly decline, and it becomes much easier to continue. The structuring your day tactics. Procrastination thrives in a vacuum of unstructured time. Zahariades provides strategies to create a framework that makes procrastination harder. Fill your calendar. Don't leave large, empty blocks of time in your schedule. Fill them with other important but less urgent tasks from your master to-do list. This gives you less opportunity to get distracted and makes you more productive by default. Prioritize tasks and projects. Don't just work on what's easiest. The book suggests distinguishing between urgent and important tasks. Focus on the ones that move you closer to your long-term goals, even if they're difficult. Shorten your daily to-do list. A long list can feel overwhelming and lead to inaction. The book recommends keeping your daily to-do list to no more than 7 items, or even just 3, as the author has personally experimented with. A shorter list increases focus and reduces stress. And finally, eliminating distractions. The author makes a crucial distinction. We don't procrastinate because we're distracted. We seek distractions because we've chosen to procrastinate. Get rid of environmental and digital distractions. Take control of your workspace. Turn off your phone, close unnecessary browser tabs, and remove clutter from your desk. This leaves you with fewer outlets to direct your attention and makes it much more difficult to justify putting off your work. And finally, the commitment tactics. Zahariades highlights the power of accountability and self-discipline. Be accountable to someone. We are more likely to follow through on a task when we're accountable to others. The fear of failing in front of someone else can be a powerful motivator. The book suggests finding an accountability partner, like a friend or coworker, to whom you can commit to a deadline. And use commitment devices. A commitment device is anything that restricts your behavior or limits your options. This can be as simple as using a website blocker to keep you off social media, or as extreme as the author's story of Victor Hugo, who reportedly asked his servant to hide his clothes so he couldn't leave his study until his writing was done.
The art of active procrastination, a controversial idea. Now, here's where the book takes a truly interesting turn. Zahariades introduces a concept that seems like an oxymoron: active procrastination. This isn't the kind of procrastination where you waste time on useless activities like watching cat videos. Instead, it's a strategic form of putting off a daunting task by working on other, equally important tasks. The author contrasts this with the passive procrastinator who simply fills their time with distractions. The active procrastinator, on the other hand, is highly productive. They might put off a major project, but use that time to tackle 3 other critical but less intimidating tasks. This approach is best suited for individuals who thrive under pressure and have already gained control over their general procrastination habits. It's a way to leverage the impulse to avoid one thing by being productive on another, ensuring that everything on your to-do list eventually gets done, even if not in the original order. A personal journey. Damon Zahariades' story. A major strength of the procrastination cure is the author's personal story. Damon Zahariades isn't a guru preaching from an ivory tower. He's a self-described corporate refugee who was once an extreme case of chronic procrastination. He shares candid, relatable examples from his own life, like paying car registration late and having his car towed because he couldn't be bothered to put the sticker on his license plate. This personal narrative gives his advice a sense of authenticity and empathy. He's not telling you what you should do, he's sharing what he did to tame that beast. His journey from a habitual procrastinator to a productivity expert serves as powerful proof that change is possible. Final thoughts. Beyond a simple how-to guide. Overall, the Procrastination Cure is a highly valuable resource because it provides a holistic approach to a complex problem. It's not just a collection of tips. It's a guide to understanding the root causes of your behavior. By focusing on the why before diving into the how, the book offers a robust framework for lasting change. The author's tone is encouraging and relatable, and the use of a pop quiz to help readers self-assess is a great way to engage with the material from the very beginning. The bonus sections, which address common questions and the importance of self-forgiveness, also add significant value. If there's one minor weakness, it's a bit of repetition. Some of the core concepts and examples, like the idea of immediate versus long-term gratification, are revisited multiple times across different chapters. While this repetition serves to reinforce key ideas, it can sometimes make the book feel a little padded. But this is a small critique of an otherwise excellent and impactful book. For anyone who feels that procrastination is a deep-seated issue holding them back, this book is a must-read. It gives you the tools to not only manage your time, but to change your fundamental relationship with work and self-discipline. It's a compelling reminder that you have the power to take control of your life. All you have to do is take the first step.